In your opinion, sir, how do you think the Supreme Court's judgment will shape the perception of the judiciary's independence and integrity?
See, Gomez, you're forcing me into a dissection of the past. And that past is gone. The illusion of the judiciary as the last hope of the common man in Nigeria has been irredeemably lost. I said before the Supreme Court judgment that the existing constitutional order would have been destroyed by the time the Supreme Court finds the grace to legitimize the presidency of the man known as Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It has found the grace to do exactly that. Now, because of that singular decision or action, what has happened is that it has set multiple precedents that the system, our court system is found on the doctrine of stare decisis, the hierarchy of courts. What the Supreme Court has established are clear. The lawyers who are still in practice can distill the case law. It is an illusion to believe that the judiciary does not make law. It does make law in reality, because where there are ambiguities as to what the lawmakers might have intended, then the judiciary is required to interpret, which eventually is a way of them making law. But this is not one of those situations. This is a situation where the Supreme Court threw away multiple precedents, decisions of the same court, and where it has now set multiple precedents that it would have to begin to overturn. I don't understand exactly how it plans to deal with the mess that it has created. And frankly speaking, it's none of my business. As far as I'm concerned, it has done exactly what I had hoped that it would do. And I'm very happy that it has done so. So how it resolves its mess is its own business.
Now, what implications does this judgment have for the opposition party and the political dynamics in the country leading up to the next presidential election, sir?
The fact of the matter is that we don't have a democracy any longer. The net effect, look, I don't know how many years we're going to, or months for that matter, Tinubu is going to allow us to continue to pretend that we're a democracy. I don't know how long. But I doubt that we have, I doubt that we have much longer to continue the pretense of a democracy, because in reality, what we have is a court system that we do exactly as it is told. It is a court system that is found on prebendal instincts. Even the appointive processes, you can already see that it is becoming more or less an hereditary thing. So if your father is a Supreme Court justice, you can come into the line of succession. It's already clear that the judiciary is becoming more or less just another, in fact, it is just the same as our police, just the same as our customs service. If anybody had any illusions about who we have become, what our judiciary is, Batijo, who just retired, I don't need to say a word any longer. Better qualified, more eminently qualified lawyers than myself, who are still in law practice, who would have to wrap their brains around the decisions of the Supreme Court. It didn't start today. You understand? Yeah. It did not start today. There is nothing, I don't want to talk about the past. They've established who they are. It used to be quite painful for me that a lot of Nigerians were still living with the illusion of a functional judiciary. But I remember that long before there was a Peter Obi, long before, long before there was a Peter Obi, had been out here in the public space saying very clearly that our judiciary is not different from our custom. They are not from Togo. They are Nigerians like me and you. Our mechanics cheat us. We cheat our clients. Our clients cheat us. All of us are the same. Why we've had this illusion of an angelic judiciary, I do not understand. That is the same judiciary that Buhari was busy hounding Supreme Court justices, hounded one until that one was forced to resign so that they dropped charges against him. One, I believe even the one that just sat on that presided over this case, it was one of those Buhari was dragging around. You have a situation where our judiciary mirrors us. It is who we are. The judiciary, how do we demand that our judiciary be different from us?
Imagine a country where its citizens get to enjoy the road without this. Imagine a country where unprecedented fuel scarcity does not cause panic at the filling station. That is why Innocent Vehicles has embarked on manufacturing environmental-friendly gas-powered cars while still offering comfort, luxury, and doggedness for the African roads. Innocent Vehicles, the pride of African roads.
Dave, you're really painting a very gloomy picture.
I'm not painting you any picture. I'm just showing you a mirror. So all I'm doing, look.
At this point in time, what you are saying is that, just for clarification,
yes.
for clarification
yes.
purposes, and going forward,
yes.
Looking at this precedence itself,
yes.
and the Supreme Court judge's role, how will this affect future elections disputes?
You can't have future elections. You're just lying to me. Look, I told you long before now that once the Supreme Court finds the grace to validate the selection of the man currently known as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the existing legal order collapses. Whether this is acceptable to people's hearing or not, I have made, look, I predict nothing. I don't predict. All I do is say the truth of what I see.
Which is quite clear. While, talking now, you mentioned the fact that you don't see any elections in the future.
How now? Sorry. Let's be clear.
Is it because
what kind
there are no
of
penalties, especially for INEC?
Hold on. If I see you planting cocoa, no, let me reverse that. If I was there and I saw you with your okra seedlings and you were planting okra, it is clear to me that what you plant is what you will reap.
Yeah,
every seed reproduces after its kind.
Yeah.
Simplicity. Now, we were all here. INEC published its guidelines. Those guidelines were published pursuant to the Electoral Act. INEC promised Nigerians, it went up and down the length and breadth of Nigeria, made representations that we were going to have an election using beavers. An IREF. And now, the Supreme Court just said what INEC promised and whatever it cares to do does not matter. So what am I supposed? So now, this man who was in power in Lagos State effectively owned Lagos State for 24 years. under whose hegemony in Lagos State, nothing passes without approval, has now been given control over a country where institutions have been completely compromised. Poverty has been completely weaponized. Ignorance has acquired atomic grade weaponization. You are now talking about an election in 2027. How? How? Citizens elect people into office. Citizens. Citizenship is suggestive of the rule of law. The Supreme Court just told us that the law does not matter. Didn't tell me, it had told me long ago. Me, I had no illusions and I had made that position clear. But for those who still had illusions, we've just been told resoundingly that it doesn't matter, nothing matters. So how can I now, in the face of all of that, be talking about an election in 2027? I'd be a madman.